All right, hi statistics students. We are going to do two videos today. One is over choosing an SRS and the one is over choosing a stratified random sample. Our goal right now in this video is I can clearly describe how to choose a simple random sample and describe the sample. There's been not much talk and growing concern about teenagers' use of internet. In addition to the countless hours spent in chat rooms and surfing the net, teens are viewing increasing amounts of pornography. Should stricter controls be imposed on teen internet use? Let's select a panel of teens to help us answer this question. Ideally, we would like to have teens representing each of the 50 states on the panel. Unfortunately, budget restrictions will permit us to choose only 6 teens for the panel. So here's what we'll do. We'll ask each state to select one teen nominee by a process of their choosing. Then, to avoid bias, we will select an SRS of size 6 from the 50 state nominees to form the panel. Well, what is a SRS? Step 1, we need to label the population with a number. We want to use a system like alphabetical order. So this is basically like if I was going to put everyone's name in a hat, shake it up, and pull out how many names I need. We need just a little bit more, not necessarily statistical sound, but a little bit more like an algorithm per se, I guess, to figure out what this is, okay? So I know, what do I have? I'm going to label a population, and the population right now is I have 50 state nominees. So if I was using a hat, I'd put 50 names in a hat. I'm not using a hat, I'm using a random table right now, so I'm not going to talk about that hat method. What I'm going to do is I'm going to label the population with a number. So I have 50 state nominees, so the first person in alpha order, the first person would get to be number 1, and I'm going to put 0, 1, and the reason is because I have a total of 50. That's 2 digits, and every single person has to have the same number of digits when I do this process. So I have 0, 1, and then the last person would get 50. Okay, that is step 1. I'm going to label the population with a number in alpha order. Okay, every label needs the same number of digits, which I have it. Now, step 2, how will I use the table? Okay, how will I use the table? Is this part of your sample or not? What do I mean by the table? I'm going to go to this random table right here that you have also in your notes. I'm going to go to line 101 because it does not tell me what line to go to. So what we have here is just a huge table of random digits. Why do we randomize? Because randomization, like I talked about in the previous video, that makes sure that our sample is representative of the entire population. Okay, so I'm going to go and I'm going to look at this line. I'm not going to use line 101. I'm not going to use this number here. That's just a label for the line. It helps guide us. I'm going to go to this line 101 and I'm going to look at 19. Why 19? Because I have 2 digits, 0, 1 through 50. And I'm going to say to myself, out of those 50 people that are in my hats, is there going to be a number 19 in there? And yes, there is. Why? Okay, why? Well, because I have 0, 1 to 50. I have that many people. So 19 is in between 0, 1, and 50. So I'm going to write this right here. That's the first person in my sample. I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, okay, here I have a 22. That's my next one. Is there a person that's labeled 22? Yes, there is a person labeled 22. Why? Well, because I have people labeled 0, 1 to 50, and 22 is in between there. Okay, that's my next person. I'm going to keep doing this until I get 6 because that's how many people I want. Okay, so I go and I look and I say, well, the next one, I just have a 3 here, right? So I'm going to just combine it with the next number, 39. And do I have someone who's labeled 39? Yes, I do, because it's 0, 1 to 50. So the 39th person labeled will get to be part of the sample. I'm going to keep going, guys. I have 50. Is 50 part of our sample? Yes, 50 is part of our sample. So I go, that last person, they get to be part of the sample. Okay, I'm going to go, how many more times? I need 2 more times. Now we have 34. Is that person part of our sample? Yes, 34 is part of our sample. Oops. And I go up, down, and I say 34. I need 1 more, okay? 1 more, 5, 0, 5. Is that person part of our sample? Yes, it is. Okay, now we need to talk a little bit because that worked out really well for our sake. I shouldn't have picked line of 101. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 volunteers, or 6 nominees, I guess, or from my sample of 50. But let's say I would have wanted 10. So that means I need 4 more. We're not going to write it down, but let's just keep looking. My next 2 numbers are 75. Well, 75 is not between 0, 1, and 50. So if this would have happened, I would have to cross it off. 62 is not between 0, 1, and 50. Again, cross it off. 87 here. There's no person labeled 87. So again, what am I doing? I'm playing pretend. Let's say, what if we needed 4 more nominees? I cross 87 off, but 13, there is a person labeled 13. So we would use it. But not 96. 40 though we would, but not 91. 25 we would. 31 we would. If we keep going and we can't find 4 more, we go to the next line. What if there's a repeat? We can't use repeats. Why? We can't use repeats because we've already, it's a person. They can't do it twice. So what do I need to do now? I need to, in step 2, 3, and 4, and 5, this is everything that I just talked about. How will we use the table? What did we do? We went to line 101, went across the line by 2 digits. If the number was between 0, 1 to 50, that was part of our sample. Step 2, we just completed. Step 3, mention what we'll do with repeats. We can't have repeats. Step 4, when will we stop? Well, we stopped once we got a sample of size 6. And there we go, guys. What we just did here is and our sample is up here, 19, 22, 39, 50, 34, and 5. Okay? We just described how to do a simple random sample. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to do a stratified random sample, and that is in our next notes.